Front runner. Spray for water buffalo or your mom? I'm trying to get straight to the last right away. So we took a bone stock Land Cruiser and transformed it into what you see today. Complete suspension overhaul, roof rack, front bumper, rear bumper, fix some things on it, wheels and tires, and we just want to give you kind of a walkthrough of kind of what the process was like before we get on to phase 2 of the build, which technically has already begun. So let's go. So the first thing we did was completely overhaul the suspension on this vehicle. Everything seemed to be almost original parts. And so it was a complete war to get the old stuff off. The new stuff went on pretty easy. We went with the Davidson's MRR suspension. And so figuring out that new suspension was actually far easier than figuring out how to get old stuff off. We had to take shifts, and it was a battle. We used torches and hammers and every impact tool we had, and stripped all kinds of things and had to saw off all sorts of stuff. So definitely consider these things before you get one, and be prepared if you want to fix the whole suspension. Definitely put a lot of time aside for it. Once we got the lift on, as you can see, it came out great. The vehicle rides 50 times better, so it was a no-brainer to do it. The next thing we took on was the front bumper, and that presented its own set of issues that we didn't really expect at all. I think our bumper was a little bit unorthodox. It's possible that the vehicle might have had a crash before or had something fixed or corrected. A lot of the bumper holes had basically like some sort of form of like a metal rivet in them, so we had to saw that stuff off and hammer them out. There was a little bit of warping on the bumper, but it wasn't too bad. Our bumper had some like aftermarket fog lights that somebody had installed, so we went ahead and chopped those off to do our wiring. And once we got the riveted holes out, the whole process got a lot easier for us. And then depending on the winch that you use, that presents its own challenges depending, how it mounts and things like that. And so, yeah, I mean, the front bumper was actually, once we got our act together, it was pretty smooth. Next was the roof rack, and it's definitely one of my favorite mods. It's extremely clean, very functional, lightweight, super versatile. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff on it. And so getting that on the vehicle was, top priority. And so it was a pretty smooth process. Got to be careful using impacts on the rack and some of the bolts, so you don't want to strip things. But besides that, as long as you have some help to safely get it on the vehicle, Front Runner makes a great product, and the rack was a no-brainer. Now that we have the rack on, we plan to do a lot of different accessories. We've already put Max Tracks up there. It's possible there might be a rooftop tent one day. We're definitely going to put some lighting and stuff in the future, tie-down points, things like that. So really glad that we had that on. The next thing we took on was the rear bumper. And again, it's a form of protection. It strengthened the whole rear up. It looks great. It's got some functionality to it. We can get the spare tire up on the back. You can carry jerry cans. We used Davidson's rear bumper, so it has dual swing outs. And so now you have a place where you can step on the bumper easy and get up there and just really, protect the vehicle in a multitude of different ways. And so we really like this mod, but again, anytime working on an older vehicle, even this was a battle, and we didn't realize, how taxing and how difficult getting the old stuff off would be. Well, that about wraps up this video. Phase 1 is kind of done. We've already put rock sliders on this. We're reupholstering the seats, overhauling the sound system. We're sound dampening the inside. So stick around to Phase 2 because it's going to be even more interesting. But this project's been a blast, and we're really just excited about where it's headed and what we might do next. So stay tuned.